Jackarya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimati Divine Grace Abhay Janarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Nandara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Samaveda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Itai Gaur Premanande Shloka. Request all of you to fold your hands. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Jaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirahe Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So reading from the book Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, The Creative Impetus, Chapter number 10, Text number 6. So it's a lengthy shloka, we will not be able to, so I will alone recite, you can just focus. Aho kashtam bhratar vyaktam uruparishrato dirgham adhanameka eva uhivan shuchiram nati piva na samhananago jarasa chopadruto bhavan sakeno eva para ete sangathina iti bahu vipralabdo pya avidyaya rachita dravya guna कर्माशया स्वचरम कलेवरे वस्तुनि संस्थान विशेषेऽहं ममेद्धि अनध्यारोपितमिथ्या प्रत्ययो ब्रह्मभूतस्तूष्णीं शिबिकां पूर्ववत् उवाह. So actually, those who learn Vedic scriptures recitation, that they'll be able to recite, but generally we only recite shlokas. So that's why. So that is the reason we are maybe may not be able to. But fifth canto has most of these shlokas. So we'll not read synonyms because today we started little late. The Kirtan ended by 9:45. So just in the interest of time, I'll just skip the word translation. Translation of purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charnaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. King Rahugana told Jadabharata, "How troublesome this is, my dear brother. You certainly appear very fatigued because you have carried this palanquin alone without assistance for a long time and for a long distance. Besides that, due to your old age, you have become greatly troubled. My dear friend, I see that you are not very firm nor very strong and stout. Aren't you fellow carriers cooperating with you?" Perfect. In this way, the king criticized Jadabharata with sarcastic words. Yet, despite being criticized in this way, Jadabharata had no bodily conception of the situation. He knew that he was not the body, but he had attained his spiritual identity. He was neither fat, lean, nor thin, nor had he anything to do with a lump of matter, a combination of the five gross and three subtle elements. He had nothing to do with the material body and its two hands and legs. In other words, he had completely realized his spiritual identity, Aham Brahmasmi. He was therefore unaffected by this sarcastic criticism from the king. Without saying anything, he continued carrying the palanquin as before. Purpose. Jadabharata was completely liberated. He did not even care when the dacoits attempted to kill his body. He knew that he certainly was not the body, even if the body were killed. He would not have cared, for he was thoroughly convinced of the proposition found in Bhagavad Gita 2.20. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. He knew that he could not be killed even if his body were killed. Although he did not protest, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his aged could not tolerate the injustice of the dacoits. Therefore, he was saved by the mercy of Krishna, and the dacoits were killed. In this case, while carrying the palanquin, he also knew that he was not the body. This body was very strong and stout, in sound condition, and quite competent to carry the palanquin. Due to his being freed from the bodily conception, the sarcastic words of the king did not at all affect him. The body is created according to one's karma, and material nature supplies the ingredients for the development of a certain type of body. The soul the body covers is different from the bodily construction. Therefore, anything favorable or mischievous done to the body does not affect the spirit soul. The Vedic injunction is asangoyam purushaha. The spirit soul is always unaffected by material arrangements. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामीनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Thank you so much for joining today's Sunday Love Feast program. Welcome you all for this feast. So this is an interesting canto, an interesting chapter. So a lot to learn from Srimad Bhagavatam. So such an interesting chapter. So like we need to develop interest in studying Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is said that Yasyam Vai Shruyamanayam Krishne Parama Purushe Bhakti Rudpadayate Pumsam Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. So, like in this material world, what happens if everyone does, we also does. We don't want to go against the flow. है ना? Like there's a in village. I am from a village background. Like if you see the sheep, what happens? Sheep goes, and everyone follows. And if first sheep falls into a ditch, everyone will fall into ditch. So, but we are trying to go opposite to the waves of Maya. Not parallel also, opposite. So now, if we see all around us, people are not interested in Krishna consciousness, they are not interested in God, they are not interested in following religion, they are not interested in following anything. Whatever comes to mind, I will do. That is what my life is. Who are you to ask me? My life, my own wish. So, but Bhagavatam is saying, if you follow like that, you will ultimately end up in frustration, distress. You see now situation, what's going on everywhere, it's a distress, war, frustration. People are in really scary situation. What's going to happen? The Palestine and Hamas. It happened in Hyderabad also some time back. We don't know what is going to happen. So that is such a situation we are in. But if you don't take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam in the scriptures, then our life is really miserable. So I really seek all of your blessings and prayers. My senior devotees are also here. So to render this service for the pleasure of Lordship, Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees. So Bhagavatam is saying, Asya vai shruyamanayam. We are get to hear so many things. If you open new channels, so many news channels are there. But what they are projecting? Death, death, death. That's only what we see. But we are interested in seeing that. But we don't even contemplate that, yes, one day that may happen to me also. So Bhagavatam is one such subject which is not only a narration of the events which has happened from the beginning of the creation, rather, but it also says that what we should do in our life, where we should go. Yasyavai Shruyamanayam. Just by hearing this message, what will happen? We will understand Krishna Parama Purusha. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Yasyavai Shruyamanayam Krishna Parama Purusha. Bhakti Rudpadayate Humsam. Then by that what will happen? The loving devotion for the Supreme Lord sprouts. Utpadayate Humsam. Then Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. So now you see that everywhere there is a shoka, lamentation is there. Ha ha, what happened? What happened? Somewhere in USA someone is saying, no, my relative has died. Lamentation, shoka. Even in our life, we want something but that doesn't happen. Lamentation is there. Hi, what happened? But if you follow this message, shoka moha bhaya apaha, that will go away. Moha, we are all in illusion that I am this body. This is me, and whatever associated with me belongs to mine. Aham mameti. Shoka moha bhaya. Fear. So today's shloka, this chapter, says that how Jadabharata was fearless. And everyone is struggling with fear, even while we are practicing devotional service. So fear is a constant companion of the living entity. One can never get out of the fear without being in touch with the Supreme Lord. So, but if you follow this one shloka, what happens? Shoka moha bhayapaha, which current world is facing. You see how Srimad Bhagavatam is so practical, so relevant to the current age also. People may say these are all mythological subjects. No, very, very practical. If you just take this message, what happens? Our life will be successful. You see, such a simple message, what we have to do? Hear. And instead of hearing about Krishna, what do we hear? We hear news channels. We hear Netflix. Yesterday, one of my Bhakti Vriksha members was telling his son watches Netflix series, or some of his friends watching Netflix series, and that goes till 4 o'clock in the morning. So because hearing, we are all interested in hearing. It's It's not that we are not interested in hearing, but our hearing propensity is misdirected. What happens if we hear those news channels TV? Shoka Moha is filled. Shoka Moha Bhaya is filled. But if we just change the topic, Shoka Moha Bhaya will go away. Such a profound message. Who is interested? No, no one is interested. Even while we practice devotional service also, Hare, no devotees are coming to Srimad Bhagavatam class, why should I go? So no one is reading Srimad Bhagavatam, why should I read or hear? Why should I study? Such things will come. But until and unless we apply in our life, until and unless we apply in our life, this message can't take effect. Prabhupada says everyone has to take their own flight. When you are on the ground, there's a training team that will teach. Yes, you have to. I went to attend Indian Air Force training. I had selected for that, and then one day I went for the training. So it's such a tough thing. So, yes, so this mobile is disturbing, right? But Jada Bharat, undisturbed. So, Jada Bharat is undisturbed. So, material world. Every one of us wants to remember something, but except Krishna. So, someone is remembering this Prabhuji. So, sorry, just diverted. I don't know where I was. Air Force. So I went to attend Indian Air Force training first day. No, there was a. I never practiced, video game or certain things because I was from a village background. I don't know anything about computer, nothing at the time. I attended, and first test was there was a screen showing that what is this, what is that. I was able to pass, but there was other game that on the screen there's a ball. A ball will deviate here and there, and you have to, with the help of gears and everything, you should control that ball should be focused there. No training was not there. I was not able to succeed and gone. So I was little disappointed. But in the Krishna consciousness also, what happens when you are on the ground, devotees, guru, everyone will say that you have to go like this, you have to do like this. Then, but once you are trained, then you have to fly. After flying, no one will say, Prabhuji, that I am not able to put the brake. Then crash. So we have to practice Krishna consciousness. We cannot compare whether other flight is going or not. No. Okay, Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. So we have a attraction for hearing propensity, inclination to hear something. But because we don't know what to hear, we just switch on the TV and then hear what is going on the channels. But ultimately, I can say that whatever we are watching in the name of enjoyment or some time pass, that will only fill Shoka, Moha, Bhaya. Not only that, Kama, Krodha, Lobha. All such things are filled. We don't know that. Why? We don't know how body is made up of. But if we just keep this here, to hear this message of Srimad Bhagavatam, what will happen? Shoka, Moha, Bhaya. This chapter, this Jada Bharat is showing how we can be fearless. Everyone wants to be fearless. That's why they accumulate so much money. They want to acquire some property in Bangalore so that I can stay safe, secure, nothing should happen. But what happened in that? Israel, bomb, smash, blast, entire apartment. I don't know how many apartments are gone. Fear. So that what it shows is even if I have everything in my life, including flat in Bangalore, maybe crore, 2 crore, 3 crore, but what will happen? I can never be free from fear. If we are not able to understand after reading this message, that means still we are in illusion. So Bhagavatam is a very powerful message. So simple hearing the message of scriptures from the devotees, that will elevate our consciousness. Shoka Moha Bhayapa. Just like when we are sleeping, what will happen? Just by giving, every day I give alarm. 4 o'clock, then we will wake up. Of course, there are devotees get up also without alarm. There was a time in my life also like that, but we generally keep alarm so that I will not miss Mangalarti. So, what is the sense that is working? ear. So ear is such a profound thing. We can never lend this ear to unnecessary topics. Be that whatever may be among the devotees also. We are not interested in speaking unnecessary things. And that is also a problem among devotees. We also come together and speak so many things. You have to be very choosy. Only intelligent person. Yesterday Mataji was asking, discrimination power. Prabhupada was saying, the discrimination power is what to hear, what not to hear, what to read, what not to read, what to see, what not to see. But that intelligence discrimination comes only from Srimad Bhagavatam. Shodha Vyadini Rajendra Ninam Santi Sahasrasa Apasyatam Atma Tattvam Griheshu Gruhamedina. There are thousands and thousands of topics to hear. War, cricket, cinema, so many things are there. Shota Vyadini Rajendra, Nunam Santi Sahasrasa. You open any new channel, there is a variety of channels and variety channels, projects, variety of news. But what Sukdev Goswami is saying, Apashyatam Atma Tattvam. Everything is devoid of Atma Tattvam. And Gruheshu Gruhamedina. All the Gruhamedina people, those who are so much attracted to body and the cell body on the bodily platform, they only want to hear these things. So now you see we are running against the waves of the material nature. It's not so easy. Why? Everywhere when you step out, you will see only one thing. Everyone is hearing that, everyone is speaking about that. So now we have to literally go against the waves of the material nature. Alone we cannot do. We are very weak. है ना? Alone we are very weak, we cannot do. We need the association of devotees. At least when you come to IPC or any ISKCON temple, yes, there are some people who are discussing this thing. Okay, I have a hope in my life. At least I am not alone in this path. I am not some variety person. When you go to office, definitely will feel we are different. You know? So that's why we have to be very careful what to hear, what not to hear. So if you see even now the television, that it only says that Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi is the real problem. Why everyone has to, so what happens if bomb has fell on some place? What is the problem? People died. What is a so great thing? So many animals are being killed every day. Cows are getting slaughtered. What is the great deal? Why are you so much creating hangama about it? I'm not saying creating hangama. I am giving another perspective. Please don't take it in other sense. I'm just saying what is so great deal about it? No one is caring when ant is dying. So many other animals are dying. Why are we so much concerned when human beings are dying? Why? Sudurlabha, human form of life is very, very rare. In this form of life, if dies, then it's a great thing. Why? Because we'll not get this human form again. That is the great will. But they don't know. But they want to protect. So protection of the citizens is very important, but not only the human beings. Protection of the praja, including all the living beings, is very good. So we can understand even while watching TV, also while hearing news, also we can always be in touch with the message of Bhagavad Gita. That doesn't mean we should watch them. But I'm saying even if we come across the news, immediately our mind should get connected to message of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Yes, Mrityu is the real problem, and that's what we are trying to face. Everyone is escaping this, but we are trying to face, which Jada Bharat is showing by his life, that how one can face death, how one can be fearless about death. So you see how Bhagavatam is so powerful, but interest should come from us. Interest should come from us. We should show interest in Bhagavatam. We may say that I don't have interest in Bhagavatam, but interest comes only by showing little interest. Slowly, that interest builds up. But Sukdev Goswami is such an excellent speaker. Sukha Mukhat, Amruta Drava Samhitam. When he's speaking, nectar is coming out. Such a graphical description. So Sukdev Goswami has presented entire this pastime of Bharata, deer and Jada Bharata, such a graphically that immediately anyone who reads this chapter, studies this chapter, immediately can understand that we are not this body. Everyone will say in this material world, how can you prove that there is reincarnation? Can you see what has happened just before yesterday in some other part of place? We don't even see. Even if at this point of time also there are so many places we don't have access to that. So recently Chandrayaan also launched. We are trying to access the information everywhere, but are we able to see? Then why are we saying that? Why don't we believe in reincarnation? So if you see this study, these three chapters, it's very clear that how soul transmigrates. But for devotees, already those who are practicing devotees, this is a great lesson because it's a great danger. Great danger. Padam padam yat vipadam natesham. It's a great danger to be in this material world. Anytime we can slip. If that can happen to the Bharat Maharaj, what is our situation? I don't think it is not so easy task in front of us. Srila Prabhupada, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of their kindness, they have introduced to us. But if you don't work on this message, it's going to be a great difficulty because we are in the material world. Anytime slip can happen. So, this King Bharata is not an ordinary person. He's the eldest son of Rishabdev, directly Supreme Lord's son. Can you imagine? Directly Supreme Lord's son. After becoming the son of the Supreme Lord, he could not achieve perfection in one lifetime. But if you think that in one lifetime, without doing anything, if you are able to achieve perfection, that's a illusion. Of course, possible. Srila Prabhupada said in one lifetime is possible. Perfection is possible in one moment also. But are we interested? That's what this chapter, it's very strong chapter actually. This entire fifth canto is very, very strong. Because especially these three things says, especially for devotees, we may slip from our position at any point of time. This material world, we are going against the waves of the material nature. If you try boating against the waves or against the flow, it's not going to be easy. We have to put lot of strength to go against the stream. You know? So King Bharata, being the eldest son of Rishabdev, he fell down. And after receiving the instructions from his father, he has received instructions from his father. Like all of us are also going to receiving the instructions. But he left. It's not that he did not act upon it. In our life, if we hear, we are not able to act upon it. But King Bharata was not like that. He was able to act upon it. He left everything. Beautiful wife, opulent kingdom. By just clapping like that, followers are there to fulfill any desire. He left everything just like a stool. But after going there, what happened? He got attracted to the deer. For us, we are not even left. So we are in a great danger. Of course, one speciality, one advantage compared to what Bharata, what we have is the association of the devotees. That's where he little bit got misguided. I mean to say, but we have advantageous position, but we have to take advantage of it. Otherwise, if King Bharata, such an exalted king, could attract it to the deer, what happens to us? So, but what happened? He was so attached to the deer while leaving the body. He remembered the deer and left the body. And this proves Bhagavad Gita. So that's why Prabhupada says Bhagavad Gita is a preliminary subject. Srimad Bhagavatam is a postgraduate. Mataji, you can sit here. It's cold. So, yeah, please sit. So, Bhagavatam is, please come because many devotees will be coming little late also. If you give the space, better to sit on the mat. So, Bhagavad Gita is a preliminary subject, Bhagavatam is a postgraduate subject. So, the best way to learn Bhagavad Gita is to study Bhagavatam. Whatever the codes and principles are there in Bhagavad Gita, that you will see the demonstration of it. Just like this pastime shows, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejatyante kalevaram tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavita. Whatever state of mind, state of consciousness we have at the time of leaving the body, we will achieve that state without fail. Krishna is telling without fail. And this pastime is a clear demonstration of this shloka. Yes, he was so attached to the deer. Oh, when my deer will come just besides me. When will it pat me? When will it sit on my lap? That he was feeling like that. So nowadays in Bangalore, all across the world, they feel just like Bharat Maharaj was feeling about the deer. They feel, when will my dog He'll come and sit on my lap. So now one can understand without even saying what will be the consciousness, what will be the destination of that person. Okay, but because King Bharata has made such a spiritual advancement, he has reached the stage of Bhava. But so he has reached the stage of Bhava because of his advancement in Krishna consciousness. What has happened? He was able to remember his past life. So now one may question, I am not able to remember my past life. So many people ask, you are saying that previous life, next life, where is the proof? I am not able to remember my past life. But you see this incident, even deer can could remember the past life, and because of his remembrance, by the grace of the Lord Krishna, because Krishna as a Paramatma is there, Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sannivishto Matta Smritir Jnanam. So now Krishna is not allowing us to remember, but Krishna has allowed the deer to remember his past life. You see, in the deer body, he was lamenting. Arey wow, what a mistake I have made. Such a great mistake. So now, even in our life, if you are able to remember our mistake, that's a great fortune. If you are able to remember our past mistake while practicing devotional service, that's a blessing of Krishna. We always want blessing of Krishna. But remembering past our mistakes and correcting upon them, acting upon them is a grace of the Lord. So Jadabharata, not Jadabharata, this deer was able to remember the past life and then acted upon it. Not only remembering, acted upon it. Most of the people they may remember, but they can't act upon it. But this deer, what did he do? Even in the deer body, he went. He left his mother, and then fellow deers, and then left to again Pulaha ashram where he was performing his austerities and took a vow: I will not eat green grass. If you see, if you are with cows and other animals, green grass is very important. It is said that if you don't feed green grass, they won't, they won't get required nutrients and other things. For them, green grass is very important. Because I was with cows, I can see we used to work really hard to get a green grass, sugar cane, and all other stuff for cows. And they don't like eating dry grass. Just like, for example, if you only get rice, nothing, no dal, nothing sabji, can anyone eat? Maybe at the time of at the verge of death we may eat, but otherwise we cannot eat. But this Jada Bharata, before Jada Bharata, the deer took a vow: I will not eat anything apart from dry leaves. Such a wow, such a commitment. Like it's like Bhishma's commitment. But and he followed that, and with the associated with the devotees. This time he did not do the mistake. He was with devotees. He was eating only the remnants of the sadhus, the devotees who have left the rim. Like we also, after eating prasadam, we also throw our plates. We don't know what all living entities they take. Of course, they also get benefit. Of course, we are not so pure to say that my remnants will purify those living entities, but by chance they are getting them, Krishna will bless them. So this deer was getting that, and finally at the time of death, he just remembered that Krishna and left the body. And this time, where we are, fifth canto, 10th chapter, we are here. He got the life of a, before this also 9th chapter, Jada Bharata. Jada means dumb actually. Jada, we call in Sanskrit Chaitana and Jada. Jada Padartha. In Telugu also we call Jada Padartha. Means it's a big, bereft of consciousness, as if died. So this Jadabharata as if behaved like a deaf and dumb. Actually, is the most intelligent person. So now, if you see the personality of Jadabharata, it's very interesting. Externally, because he remembered his past life, he did not want to do the same mistake. So you see, remembering the mistakes is a great boon. Many of us, or most of the people in the world, they want to forget what they have done. Forget the mistake, go ahead with the life and enjoy the life. Who has seen the next life? So, but Jadabharata is showing that by remembering his mistakes, he said that this life I will not do the mistake. He remembered Bharata's life also. He remembered the life of deer also. And this life, he remembered that and he's saying that I will not do mistake. If I act very smartly, intelligently, people will catch me. And and he's also very stout actually. So people will catch me. So that what I will do, I will behave like a dumb and deaf person. So everyone used to interact with him, but they never used to like him, but internally is always used to remember Krishna. So this also shows that externally we may be involved in so many activities, even while service also, or because most of us are here, congregation, we are all married, we have a children. So many things are there, office, so many things are there. Of course, at one point of time, we should get rid of all of them. But even while staying in all this kind of situation, what Jada Bharata is proving that internally we can always remember Krishna. Internally, he was always conscious of Krishna. Is the most intelligent person. That's what this Srimad Bhagavatam is saying. So, while remembering Krishna, he was behaving like a deaf and dumb. Can anyone do like being act like a deaf and dumb person? No, because deaf and dumb doesn't get any respect in this world. But he said, "This is my safest situation. No one will disturb me." So now we should also act in our life. We may be interacting with so many materialists and other things, but we should interact in such a way that my Krishna consciousness should not get disturbed at any cost of things, at any cost of life. That should not get disturbed. Whatever may happen in life, my Krishna consciousness is the focus, ultimate goal, ultimate focus. That should never get disturbed. What happens in our life? So to we'll also dwell on the topic because Jada Bharat was undisturbed, but in our life, small things in our life also we get disturbed. But we need to remember this aspect from this chapter that whatever may happen in life, my Krishna consciousness is the my life. That is the core goal of my life. I am not interested in it. I may be doing everything, but I am not interested in anything except Krishna consciousness. That's what Jada Bharat is proving. So he was such a fearless person. Even dacoits, dacoits caught him and then about to give Bali. No, he was dressed nicely and he was decorated nicely, put tilak, and he was on the platform. The platform, if you see in the village or anywhere, nowadays in cities you will only see slaughter us, but if you see how animal is killed, there's a platform where they'll keep the head, and he has a sharp sword. And he knows that he is going to be killed, but still, even an inch also, he did not got shaken. He was not shaken, undisturbed. What he started with Shoka Moha Bhaya. Everyone is filled with fear, but here is one person who is fearless. So this is such a quality, Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi. This is such a quality that comes only by practicing Krishna consciousness. To the degree we practice Krishna consciousness, to the degree we are fearless. And this is the demonstration of the principle of Krishna consciousness. Everyone may feel, what are you doing? What are you achieving in life? We are achieving something which no one can achieve. Of course, beyond this, there are so many things. Ultimately, we are going to get the love of Lord. But even in the intermediate stage, what we are going to get is fearlessness. Is it not? Everyone is fearful. Fear of losing job, fear of losing relatives, fear of losing one's life, fear of becoming old, what not. Every fear is there. But please see Bhagavatam's beauty, showing the narration of a person. You can be fearless. Srimad Bhagavatam is not a novel. I have read in my young age one novel. It was so interesting about the cosmology. I started reading and till that time. But it was so imaginative, and it was so appealing also. But Bhagavatam is not like that. Bhagavatam is a narration of the historical event that happened from the beginning of the creation. Not only narration, Bhagavatam says, yes, if this person can become a devotee and becomes a perfect devotee, pure devotee, who is able to get these attributes in life, then Bhagavatam is inspiring us, encouraging us. Yes, you can also become like Bharat Maharaj, provided we are ready to take up. We are ready to practice this principle. Otherwise, we will also go, maybe coming to temple and go everything, but still we will not be able to get these attributes in our life. So spiritual advancement is very, very important. Not only coming in touch with Krishna consciousness, but striving every day, every moment to go to next level, Like in my office, my manager told, no, you have to work on the platform of the next level now in this current level to get the promotion to the next level. I was thinking I don't need promotion, but of course, so that is within me. So, but you see, even in the material world, this objective is there. If you want to go to the next level, strive hard, working on the next level in the current level. So this applicable in Krishna consciousness also. We can't be stuck at one stage. Wherever we are, we may be a great preacher or we may be at whatever level may be, we can't be stuck at that stage. But that stage may be different from for everyone. Some may be in initial stage, Adu Shraddha, Tattva, different stages are there. But at any stage, no one can stuck to that stage. This is what from Jada Bharat we can learn. But you know, even while being such a great devotee, pure devotee of the Lord, he has to go through the sarcasm, criticism. No, if you read this shloka, it is like I will read because some of you are very late, right? If you hear that what this King Rahugana is telling, so sarcastically. No, actually, it was actually what happened. King Rahugana was on the palanquin. Four carriers were there. One of them was Jadabharata, and Jadabharata, being a pure devotee of the Lord, when he sees the ants, what happens? He stops, and then what happens? Palanquin get jerk. No, so that he was getting frustrated. Then he was speaking like this. King Rahugana told Jadabharata, "You see how he is speaking. How troublesome this is, my dear brother. You certainly appear very fatigued because you have carried this palanquin alone without assistance for a long time and for a long distance. Besides that, due to your old age, you have become greatly troubled. My dear friend, I see that you are not very firm, nor very strong and stout. Aren't your fellow carriers cooperating with you?" You see, actually, Jadabharat was very strong, stout, and is not the only person. There are other three carriers, not only for long time, he just carried for a little short time. But instead of directly scolding him, this is a way of scolding him in a sarcastic way. But anyone, if we keep in that situation, will definitely get disturbed. But what this shows, Jadabharata was undisturbed. So sarcastic. What is sarcasm? You mean something, but you say something. You say something to actually mean something. But sarcasm is a very, especially that can never be applied in interactions with devotees. That offends. Because not everyone on the level of Jadabharata, we get disturbed. We need to accept our situation. It's not that we are in that position, but we want to reach that position. There is a difference. Because Bhagavatam is saying you can also reach that state. That means there's a hope for us that we can also become fearless eventually. But what is our current situation? We are not in that state. So, completely undisturbed. This shows that Jadabharata is not an ordinary person. An ordinary person gets disturbed. Like no, many times you go on the road, traffic. Bangalore is a good place to see the traffic. Sometimes what happens because of the traffic and someone car is there, new car, and a person comes again, small scratch. Immediately gets up from the car and then shouts at the person. And not only that, one time I was doing one program and coming back, just at that traffic signal, I was just put the right indicator and in that car there is a old couple and they started shouting at me. I was about to leave, but I was thinking for small things we will get irritated. So Bhagavatam, by being studying Bhagavatam, applying Bhagavatam, what happens? We get immense potency to tolerate. You see, tolerance is very much required even if you want to achieve something in the material world. That is not we are not interested in that. But that also affects our material life. We get tolerance to interact with people, we get tolerance to deal with situation. We also become humble. You see how Bhagavatam is so relevant. People are only working on the externals, but ISKCON or any spiritual organization, especially Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, they are working on something internal. Internal journey is also there, which people forget, ultimately get frustrated. Srimad Bhagavatam is very important aspect of our life. So this is also again in one principle teaches the explanation of Bhagavad Gita shloka. Yam labdva chaparam labam manyate nadikam tata. Yasmin sthito na dukkena guruna api na vichalyate. As I said previously that Bhagavad Gita gives the sutra And Bhagavatam is a demonstration of that principle. Can you imagine? M labdva chaparam labha manyate nadikam tata. Once one has a taste for Krishna consciousness, one gets the love for the Lord, what happens? Manyate nadikam tata. Adhikam. I don't need anything in my life. I am satisfied. But in the material life, what happens? Whatever you get, still not satisfied. Still next level, next level, next level. What next level? Ultimately, you reach the next level as a death only. So, but this is forgotten. So, Bhagavatam is reminding again and again. Manyate nadhikam tata. I don't need anything in my life. Yasmin stito na dukkena. In that state, Gurunapi na vichalyati. Even the greatest difficulty, like in Jadabharata's case, what happened? The sword is about to cut the neck of Jadabharat. Like for example, if you see the dog only, like one time I was many years back, I was walking and then two three dogs have attacked me. So I started running. We have to save our life also. Our life is very precious. We can't act on some platform which we are not. That is actually over ambitious. But I started running. Of course, by Krishna's grace, those dogs have gone. In one more place, when I was in near Vijayawada, we went to Lord Narasimha temple. We were climbing the hill, and suddenly we did not know that two, three monkeys they attacked. So that time we were chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We closed our eyes, we don't know what to do. Closed our eyes and chanting, and fortunately Krishna heard our prayer, and those monkeys have gone from that place. So, but here, that is our situation. We need to admit our situation. But where we want to go, we want to become like Jada. Of course, at that time I didn't read this pastime. I heard this pastime, but I did not dwell on this topic so deeply. But you see, we have our, we want to follow some hero, some sports star. Why don't you make the devotees in Bhagavatam as your heroes? Of course, if you can make Krishna as the hero, that is good. But Krishna's devotees are our real heroes. Our real hero is Srila Prabhupada, who has crossed this material, this world, to preach the message of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam at the age of 70. Why don't we make them as our heroes? If we make them as heroes, our life will get transformed. And we will be able to cross over this life. And ultimately we get love for Lord. Esmin sthito na dukkena. Guru na api vichal. Guru is a very heavy word. Guru means heavy. But Guru also means great difficulty. Guru na api na vichal. Even the greatest difficulty comes in our life. So losing job, losing small things is not a great thing, not a great difficulty. You see, by learning Bhagavatam, we can face all situations. Of course, we have to. That's what I'm saying. To the degree we practice, we'll get that much fearlessness. Guru na api na vichalyate. Greatest difficulty will not touch us. Anyone doesn't want this quality? I hope everyone wants this quality. We want to live like a lotus flower. Lotus flower, untouched by mud. We want to remain in the society because now we are all married, we cannot escape. So, we want to remain in the society but untouched. Untouched by even small difficulties. Forget about the greatest difficulty. Okay, but that comes by practicing Krishna consciousness. Of course, Kunti Maharani goes one step further. What she says, Oh Krishna, Vipada Santu Dashashva Tatra Tatra Jagadguru Bhavato Darshanam Mithya Apunar Bhava Darshanam. She says that, especially, of course, Jadabharata acted on that platform, but Kunti Maharani is saying, Oh Krishna, no problem, you give me more calamities. I am happy to receive them. Why? Because they were getting the association of Krishna. They are constantly able to remember Krishna. This shows that difficulty is not a greatest difficulty if we have Krishna with us or Krishna's devotees with us. So we may feel difficulty as a difficulty because we don't have Krishna in life, or we may not have Krishna's devotees in life. So difficulty becomes insignificant when we have Krishna or devotees. That's what Kunti Maharani is showing. So for devotees, difficulty is not a difficult. That means if you are feeling difficulty as a difficulty, that means we should we should think in other way. Yes, there is some Krishna is missing in my life. Krishna's devotees are missing in my life. That is what we need to arrive, rather than thinking that, oh, I have great difficulty. It may be easy to say. As I say, everyone has to fly their own flight. It's not so easy. Everyone has to do that, including me or anyone. Anyone, everyone has to work on that aspect, because saying is easy, but acting upon it is very, very difficult. But at least we have knowledge what to act upon. If we don't have the scriptural knowledge, we don't know what to act upon. Whatever comes to our mind, we will act upon it. But because of being conscious of Srimad Bhagavatam, they know, yes, I should act like this. That is what it shows. So this is how Kunti Maharani is saying. Not only that, so many great devotees. One time, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, our great Acharya, is a Rasik Acharya, is an Acharya in our line, because he fought so much against Sahajiyaism. Sahajiya, will not dwell on the topic, but Sahajiyas they are also attracted to Krishna, but they don't want to follow any rules and regulation out of their own mind. They break all the regulative principles, but still they say, I have love for God, love for Krishna. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has really fought against these Sahajiya people, and basically Sahajiya concept. So now it happened in such a way that they wanted to kill Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur himself. They really made a plot to kill Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and he understood, still undisturbed. And then what happened? Because in Vrindavan there were so many ponds, and he went into a pond, and out of the pond he came as a Manjari because that was his original Swarupa. And then Manjari means a small girl, and small girl came out and then passing by. These people were seeing, and then what happened? She was going, they were not able to understand. Where is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur? Where is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur? Then they understood. Actually, this Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is none other than this Manjari. And after some time, then she came again back to the position of again Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and then understood, oh, we made such a great mistake. So, but still undisturbed. This happened with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, what happened? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he preached against so many misconceptions. One of them is caste Goswamis. Because caste Goswamis, they say that it is our right. But he preached against that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kiba Vipra Kiba Nasi, Sudra Kenenoi, say Krishna Tattvaveta, Oi Guru Hoi. Like that there is a verse. So irrespective of whether someone is a Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra, one can become a guru to preach Krishna consciousness if one is expert in the science of Krishna consciousness. That is only requirement, irrespective of whatever birth we have. So this caste Goswamis made a plot against Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Then they made, not only that, they gave 25,000 rupees at that time. It is more than 60-70 years back. 25,000 rupees at that time. Can you imagine what can be the value of now? Maybe 25 lakhs. I don't know. Maybe little more that also. 25,000 at that time they gave to police. You please kill this sadhu, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And police came and told, actually we take the bribe. That is our hobby. That is our job also. And we also kill the people. But we don't take bribe to kill sadhu. So he came and openly admitted and revealed that to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, told that, you please see, you are in a very dangerous situation. You are in a dangerous situation. Still undisturbed. Not perturbed, even little. So that is the situation. But of course, because he's Acharya, devotees were concerned about him. So what happened after that? They have arranged the security to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And because as a disciple, we need to protect our Guru, our Acharya. Of course, but from his perspective, he was completely undisturbed. Completely undisturbed. So there was also an incident with His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj also. What happened? While they were in Vrindavan, they were taking darshan, and that they came out and they boarded the car, and the car was going, because that was a long time. Vrindavan is not the same the way we are seeing now. At that time, it's really filled with forest. It's not so much the way we are seeing current situation. So Suddenly, so many gundas, thieves are there in Vrindavan. Even now, also they they maintain pistols also. So they started throwing the stones on this car, so many stones, because by that they'll stop. But Maharaj told driver, go, fast, fast, fast. He was driving very fast, still more and more fast. And finally, they were able to cross that situation. And this devotee, because we have that understanding that senior devotee, spiritual master, they are actually fearless. That devotee, disciple of Maharaj, asked Guru Maharaj that, Maharaj, do you also get fear of such incidents? It's a generic, right? And of course, it's a very genuinely he asked, he's expressed his doubt. We should never keep doubts within ourselves, even maybe silly doubt. Samshayatma vinashyati. We should clarify our doubts. That is one thing we should do always. Then he asked, Guru Maharaj smilingly said, actually, I don't have any fear. But if I'm stuck there, Krishna has to come to protect me. I don't want to take the service of Krishna. So that is his mood. But underlying principle is he was telling that he was fearless. So if you see our entire parampara, not only Jada Bharat, entire parampara you take, they are completely fearless. Srila Prabhupada is completely fearless. He was among the hippies preaching the Krishna consciousness. So now, having said all these things, that means Krishna consciousness has the potency to make anyone fearless, even us also. Otherwise, why is this event recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam? So this is what we need to understand. So, but fear comes because bhayam dvitiya viniveshatasya ishat apetasya viparyo asmritihi. Bhayam Dvitiyapi Niveshat. When our absorption in something other than Krishna, fear comes. So now we need to see in our day-to-day life also. It's not that we are not fearful, we are also fearful. So, but that fear may be different for different people or maybe different devotees also. Bhayam Dvitiyapi Niveshatasya. If your absorption is something other than Krishna, then fear arises. So, we can become fearless. So now Srimad Bhagavatam is narrating this. So we need to understand Krishna consciousness is a science. That means science means what? There's a cause and there's an effect. If you follow the process, if the have trigger something a cause, effect will come. This is my favorite example. When I was in 12th class, I had a lab test. In the lab test, there is this salt given. What is the salt? Called copper sulfate. If you see copper sulfate, it has a characteristics. What are the characteristics? It is in a bluish color. It has a certain taste. So what is science? Everything has certain characteristics. So devotion also has certain characteristics. So if you practice devotion, we will also get certain characteristics within heart. So generally, we practice devotion, we see only external result. Like for example, we do great preaching program, but we generally see what are the characteristics. 100, 200, 300, 400 devotees have attended. So that's a good thing. We have to have that stats also. But that is to report to the organization. But we are not only interested in that, but what is interested in that actual practice of devotional service transforms our heart. What is that we will get? If we actually practice Krishna consciousness, what we will get? Bhayam Dvitiya Viniveshat. If we render the service properly, what we will get is fearlessness. So Krishna consciousness is a science. Long back when I was practicing Krishna consciousness, I was hearing science, science, science. I asked one devotee, what is this science? I'm not able to understand because I'm from science background. I'm very good at mathematics also, but I was never able to understand what is this science. But after a long time, yes, Krishna consciousness is a science. If you practice Krishna consciousness, that will lead to certain characteristics in our life. That's why our Rupa Goswami has done a fabulous job. What is that fabulous job? Bhakti is not a sentimental, but bhakti also can be tracked systematically. Ado Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, Prem. No one in the history has done such a fabulous job of attributing different stages of bhakti. So bhakti is not a sentimental thing. People may feel we are dancing on the roads, but they don't know that there is stages of bhakti, and Rupa Goswami is very clearly told that if I practice bhakti, what will happen in my life? Can you imagine such a great acharya? He has done that job, and that is all recorded. We have Bhakti Rasamrita in such a great book. So even Bhagavatam, every day Bhagavatam we recite Nashta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavad Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. It talks about one of the stage of bhakti. What is the stage of bhakti? Nishta, Naishtiki. What is that? Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu. So Prayeshu means almost nil. Prabhupada writes Prayeshu means almost nil. So when we follow these stages, what is the Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti? When we are working on our own Anarthas, we will reach the stage called Nishta. Nishta means it's not that everything is zero, but almost our Anarthas are almost nil. Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu. Nityam Bhagavata Seva. You see, just by studying Bhagavatam every day, serving Bhagavatam and trying to understand Bhagavatam, applying Bhagavatam in our life, then we will reach this stage. Not only that, like so you are able to see right how Bhagavatam is also saying that yes, we will go to that stage. All anarthas are almost nil. So now we have to see in our life. Scriptures are like a mirror. We have to see our life. Whether anarthas are still there or anarthas are almost nil. If anarthas are there, that I am in the anartha nivritti. Some of us may be in the below stage also. Maybe we are just now taking sadhu sangha, or maybe just trying bhajana kriya in that sadhu sangha. But many devotees who are practicing from long time may be in anartha nivritti, but some of them might have crossed. But who will tell? When you do the big program, no one will tell you. Why? Because it is in heart. Maybe one or two devotees, if you reveal, they may know. But we have to work on our heart, Nishta. Almost like that, our scriptures will tell. So, in the interest of time, I will not go into those so many details, but I wanted to give one practical thing. So, not only we externally do service, we chant, we complete chant 16 notes. Some of us may not be chanting, but it's not that simply chanting 16 notes is not sufficient. We may be chanting, but are we seeing transformation in the heart? This is called assessment. You know, in office, corporate also, they follow exactly that. Even when you are working in corporate, you can always link with Bhagavatam. Assessment, performance review. Everyone knows, right? Performance review. They have a goals and they review every 6 months. And based on that, you'll get that. So we also have a goal. What is the goal? Prema Pumarto Mahan. If you are not still convinced of the goal, that is another thing. But if you are convinced of the goal, our goal is that. Not only external numbers, our goal is that. Then we have to review, assess ourselves. Bhakti Vinod Thakur said that every Ekadashi we have to assess. At least we have to assess sometime. Look ourselves inside. Because no one can look for us inside. No one can peek into our heart inside. You know, that is the job we have to do. What Jadabar last time is showing, how can we become fearless? So assessment can be done in many ways. Some ways which I felt that first thing is internally we should look into our heart and check our impurities. If you are not able to see our if you are not able to see our impurities, that means we have a long way to go. If one is able to see the impurities within our heart, that means we are really blessed. We should not be discouraged. Why? Because that is a chance for us to work upon our impurities. Anyone who feels that now I have achieved perfection, then I don't know what to say. But Bhagavatam says there will be some stages are there. We are all in the beginning stage. Now you please work on your impurities. For that we need to be alert. So for that we need to study scriptures and reflect like a mirror. Studying scriptures is not only for just studying or filling sadhana sheet. That is also required. Until and unless we do in the beginning, we can never go to the next level. So, but reflecting our heart. Second thing is, important thing is challenges or situations. Like Jada Bharat was going through one situation where he was about to be killed. An ordinary person becomes fearful, but in a devotee's life, challenges or situations, they actually shows our consciousness. For example, like when I practicing devotee sees a food item, like Bangalore, everywhere we have gone for Janmashtami donation collection. Everywhere, nook and corner, so many food shops are there. Jalebi cow. Somewhere they will say, I only remember this because this is the one that struck me when I was going for Janmashtami donation. Kachodi cow. So if a practicing devotee, when he goes out and sees, he gets मुझे भी खाना चाहिए, then that means still I am not so much attracted to Krishna. It is not bad. I mean to say, if that I am seeing that, yes, I should not get that thought. That means at least I'm in a good shape. I know I am getting attracted, but I know I should not get attracted. It's a dilemma. But that is good. Now I have to work upon that. I can write and work upon it. Second thing, for example, young boys or any man, when sees a beautiful girl, so immediately ordinary thing, because entire film industry is filled with that, how to attract opposite sex. If we are also getting attracted, no, I am not supposed to get such thoughts. Good, I am in a good shape, at least because of the scriptures. My heart is changed. What is the transformation? Now I am able to see that yes, it's not correct. No, I am going somewhere and I saw some display, some movie is getting displayed, but I am in a bus. But I get the thought, no, I am not supposed to watch this. That's a good. That means I have something to work upon it. So this is a called challenging situation. I just gave some simple examples, but in our life difficulties may come like anything. Those situations will reflect us, where am I? You see, an ordinary person sees difficulty as a difficulty, but we see difficulty as a challenge to improve ourselves. We should not get discouraged in any situation. We have Krishna with us. We have Srila Prabhupada with us to help us to progress in Krishna consciousness. Third thing, if we are not able to do this, we are not able to look, we are not able to handle situation, best thing is be with the devotee. And at least we should have one or two devotees with whom we can share our heart, whom we have with confidence. Then they will say, Prabhuji, no one will say that you are such a nasty person, your heart is ganda. Actually, everyone's heart is dirty only. Someone's heart is less dirty, someone's heart is more dirty. So that devotee will understand. Any devotee who knows that I have also dirt, when he hears that, yes, Prabhuji, if you do like this, you will come over that. Otherwise, no, I see in my life, when we stay in base, one time I was using perfume as a beginner. One Prabhu told me, this is a gross example I am giving, but there are so many subtle examples. Prabhu told that, Prabhuji, you can't use this perfume, it has alcohol. Even the simple basic thing also, no common sense is there. Only when devotee told, yes, I should not use perfume. So from that day till date, by Krishna's grace, I'm just remembering that thought. You see, that is the best way. If other two ways are not working, this is the best way. That's why we need devotees association. Devotees association not for chit chatting. Devotees association to help us, improve us, rectify us to go towards the goal of our life. Prema Pumarto Mahan. And actually, Dattatreya has 24 gurus. If we are really open, it is little difficult. If we are really open, in every interaction we will learn something, but that requires more advancement. But I mean to say, even while interacting with, one time I went to Tirumala, I was in bus, and one person misbehaved with me. Immediately for 1 second I got little angry. So that shows that still I have Rajogun. I said, okay, I have Rajogun, I have to work upon this Rajogun. So these are different ways which I feel that we can always assess ourselves. We may be doing everything externally, but we should work on our heart. Otherwise, we'll never be able to progress in Krishna consciousness. Because if you are stuck at one position, like for example, what happens if you are eaten, if it is not evacuated, what will happen? It starts disseminating bad smell. Similarly, water in a small pond, there is no flowing water. What happens? It gets stagnant. That's why in my childhood I learned mosquitoes breed in the water where stagnated water. So they put kerosene and other things. But we can't be stuck at one stage. Wherever we are, It's not that where we may be in higher level or lower level, but wherever we are, we have to always work towards the next level. So there is also one shloka in Bhagavad Gita. With this, I will conclude on this because I want to tell that how Bhagavad Gita is a science based on today's contextual shloka. This is from 6.27. I am also trying to apply this shloka. You can also try. प्रशान्तमनसं ह्येनं योगिनां सुखमुत्तमम् उपैति शान्तरजसं ब्रह्मभूतम् अकल्मषम्. How do we know that we are progressing in Krishna consciousness? Because it's a science. We want some tracking parameter, checklist 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this has a checklist. One of the checklists, there are so many other checklists. Prashanta Manasam. If you are practicing Krishna consciousness, what you will get? Prashanta Manasam. Mind will be mind will settle down. So to the degree we are practicing, to the degree mind will be settled down. And I can really say that when I came in touch with this process, now I can say that certain degree mind is settled. It's not that 100% settled, but for a person like Jadavarata, it was completely settled. Prashanta Manasam. But it's a parameter, right? If mind is still disturbed, that means there is some problem. Prashanta Manasen. Yoginam Sukham Uttamam. Sukham Uttamam. Second thing is Sukham Uttamam. We will strive for Uttama Sukha. Uttama Sukha means what? Uttama. Tama means ignorance. Uttama means transcendental. We'll strive for transcendental happiness. Still in my life, if I'm striving, craving for material happiness, enjoyment with sense objects, that means still I have something to work on. Sukhamuttam. Upaiti Shanta Rajasam. Rajoguna will also become less. What is Rajoguna quality? Kamayesha, Krodayesha, Rajoguna, Samudbhava, Mahashano, Mahapapma, Vidhi, Ye, Ena, Vaikam. They are the greatest enemies. And Brahma Bhuta, Akalmasham. Then you will feel Brahma Bhuta means you will feel that Krishna belongs to me and I belongs to Krishna. Krishna to Amar, Amito Tomar, Tomito Amar. That possessiveness means yes, I belong to Krishna now, or Krishna belongs to me. I start identifying with Krishna. Krishna is my master, I am his servant. Brahma Bhuta, Akalmasham, free from Kalmasha, sinful reaction like that. So, like that you see how Bhagavad Gita is a science which actually works upon us. So, second last thing, please avoid sarcasm with the devotees, because later Rahugana, after understanding his mistake, he says that I don't fear even Lord Shiva's trident, Trishul. I don't fear of Durga's trident. But I have only one fear. What is that fear? Fear of offending devotees. Rahugana was telling after 2-3 chapters he will say. So that's why our interaction, that is just to say as a warning. Like when we are running on a highway, there's a warning, you are crossing 100 kmph, slow down. That's a warning for us only to go safely. So this is a safe path. Always interacting with devotees, we should always be careful. Our speech, Anudvega Karam Vakyam, Satyam Priyam Hitam. We should speak in such a way that others and especially devotees are also happy with our speech. So this is how. So in conclusion, we should not only work on external things. Yes, that we have anyhow work. We have to do preaching program, we have to chant, complete 16 rounds. But we should not be stopped there. But we should also look whether these symptoms are manifesting in my heart. So this only intelligent person can do. Only intelligent person can do, because looking into the heart, seeing the impurities, tolerating them, bearing with them, working on them, improving on them, rectifying them, and at the same time progressing towards the goal of life, it requires a great perseverance. Utsaha, Nischaya, Dhairya, patience, Utsaha, enthusiasm, these are all required. But if we do little effort, Krishna also reciprocates, and Krishna will be very happy. Just like a child when trying to crawl or walk, he falls. But parents feel so happy, they'll help him, help her. So like that Krishna also will. So in this path, in the Bhakti Yoga, the most speciality of the Bhakti Yoga is Krishna is with us. Krishna's devotees are with us. And most importantly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu are with us. Anarpita Charim Chira Karunayavati Nakalo Samarpitum Unnatojvala Rasa Swabhaktim Shriyam. They wanted to give this love of God, love of Krishna, which is a precious gift which no other incarnation has given. They are with us. But ready, are we ready to work upon it? Challenge is open. Okay? Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Actually, today the class was started around 9:45 because Kirtan was completed at 9:40. That's why I have taken little 5 minutes extra. But if any one of you have any questions or comments, we can take one or two. Prabhu, we can give the mic. Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you for the amazing and wonderful class. I especially like your point on we should assess ourselves regularly, and you give so many different shlokas which can serve as yardsticks for us to assess. But you also quoted one verse from Bhagavatam that Bhayam Vidya Vineshu Prasad, that ultimately fear comes when we are absorbed in something else.
Something other than Krishna.
Something other than Krishna. So now, practically in our day-to-day lives, like because we have so many different duties that we have to perform, and for example, office where it demands absorption. If we have to do something, we have to really, like especially IT jobs, where there's no managerial kind of a thing. We have to really get down into the technical things and then focus. Now, how do we, and so mind is getting absorbed over there, and then after, once our job gets over, then okay, then we come back to our sadhana, to our regular devotional life. But I want to know how do we solve this dilemma of how do we do that? So the answer often is given that verse from Bhagavad Gita that the smart sarveshu kaleshu that fight with remembering them. But how do we do both the things together? Because it's difficult to do both the things.
Yes,
to hear from you on that.
Yes, Prabhuji, very good. So very nice question. This is a practical question also because we are all interacting with so many things or so many people. But I will give some practical things. So, but it's an interesting question. If you are thinking such thing in our life, that means it's a good thing. Because if you don't think, that means we are not working on it. Otherwise, if you are not focusing on improving in our Krishna consciousness, we'll focus on improving our bank balance or material consciousness. But so this is what our interest should be. So, sadhana, morning and evening program should be an impetus to remember Krishna throughout the day. So, this is how we want to remember Krishna. Smartavyo satatam Vishnu, vismartayo na jatu chit. We always want to remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Actually, sadhana is for this purpose. Because we are not able to remember Krishna every time, we are doing sadhana. But ultimately, what we want to do? Smartavyo satatam Vishnu. We always want to remember Krishna. So, how we have to do? So, Krishna has given so many practical tips in Bhagavad Gita itself. But before telling that, I will tell you, like now, I used to tell in my Bhakti Vriksha that, so I am also going in front of computer. So, then I am working on this laptop. So, this laptop is what? It has a, because I am from electronics background also, I can relate it easily. It has a processor, it has a input output devices, it has a memory. But underlying principle of all these components is what? Electron, atom. Within that electron also, if you go a little deep into semiconductors, because there are N positive, P positive. We have so many electronics devotees are there. N positive, P positive. So that means if a certain thing has to work, electricity has to go in certain direction. Then what happens? Because of that, 1, 0 will apply. No, if you go a little deeper. But how electron is working? How proton is working? Andantarastu paramanu chayantarastu govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. So Krishna as a Paramatma is there in within that. Because of Krishna's potency, this electron is working, and because of that I am able to write something on the code. This is one way. That way we are able to see this one. Krishna, without Krishna's influence, without Krishna's acting in that, even we cannot write the code also. This is one thing. And second thing is, apareyam, that bhumi rapo analo vayur kham mano buddhi revacha. Ultimately, this is made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether. They are all the energies of Krishna. So immediately as soon as I see this, I can see this as the energy of Krishna. Third thing, for example, I sat on the computer, I am just writing the code. But who is giving the intelligence to write this code, to solve this problem? Who is giving me remembrance that I should apply that concept? Again, sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto mata smritir jnanam apohanam. Third thing. And not only that, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, buddhir buddhimatamasmi. Krishna is the intelligence of the intelligent. Tejas tejasvinamaham. So I am writing. Who is giving the strength to type? Because there are people that, but they cannot type. Why? Because their hand is paralyzed. You see, this way we can always remember Krishna. And not only that, when you go to washroom or when you go to take water, rasoham apsukonteya, drink water, you need to remember that. It's not so easy. We have to train the mind in all these things. When you go to washroom, on the way we can chant Hare Krishna. In my office I used to do, even now also I try the same principle, because we may tend to forget, or we tend to forget. It's very easy for us to forget Krishna because we don't have love for Krishna. Now it is covered. So we tend to forget Krishna. What we have to do in the between, also in office also. In my previous company, when I was in Hyderabad, I used to go out in between regular intervals to hear something. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just to boost up my consciousness. Now also what I do, I read scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita, anything in between. Everyone goes out for walk, I may read something, or I may also, while walking, I can also read something. So first thing is knowledge from Bhagavad Gita scriptures. We can always relate, because nothing is unrelated with Krishna. In 2.2 canto, 9th chapter, 35th shloka, Rite ardham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani, tadvidyat atmano maya, eta basho, eta tamaha. The definition of maya is Rite ardham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani. If you see anything unrelated to Krishna, that means we are in Maya. We are in Maya because we are not able to see relation with Krishna. But when we are able to see relation with Krishna, immediately what happens? I am not in Maya. I am in Krishna consciousness. So even while interacting with a person who is more intelligent than me, who is able to deliver projects in the office, I can see, Arey, he got such a wonderful intelligence, that who has given that intelligence? My beloved master Krishna has given that. So that way, even in enemy also, while driving bike also, I just gave certain examples, but we can extend like that. So I hope it's clear, Prabhu. That way we can be always Krishna consciousness. But we have to train our mind to actually think like that. Okay, even while evacuating also, please. That's why always we can chant Hare Krishna, always we can remember Krishna. So this is the great boon given by our Acharyas. Sorry, I will take only one more question because in the interest of time. Who else has the question? Yes, Prabhu, can you ask?
Thank you, Prabhu, for enlightening like this. Okay, my question is on same line whatever Prabhuji asked. As you were quoting, how the ladies, how when we hear or when we see these things, our senses get agitated. But somehow, due to the association of devotees, we got this thing that we should not eat outside, at least avoid. Yes. And then the second thought comes, okay, let me get it cooked at home.
Let me
Get it cooked
at home.
Then I can take it. So now again, it's getting irritated, right?
Yes.
So how we can assist?
Yes, Prabhu. So always do important things to do in our life. Where is the goal? What is the I am supposed to do? Where I am. If these two are clear, that means the path is clear. But goal is not clear. Where I am is not clear. Path itself is vague. But it's a good thought. When I am seeing something, I am getting disturbed, but still immediately I am getting thought, no, I am not supposed to. That's a very good thought. But it's initial step. But later, okay, let me cook at home, offer to Krishna. But still it is second level only. But we want to do everything for Krishna, going to market, purchasing for Krishna, and bringing them for Krishna. Even when devotee says, even sowing the seed for Krishna from that beginning, and cutting the vegetables for Krishna, cooking for Krishna, and offering with love for Krishna, honoring prasadam for Krishna, and everything for Krishna. So it requires training. So, but that's a good thought. We are in step 1. That means I should go to step 2, step 3. Like that we have to work out. But if we are not clear about what is happening within me, that's a disaster. That's a disaster. Okay, so we'll end here. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Once again, we would like to thank His Sachidananda Vigraha Prabhuji for again enlightening us with wonderful Bhagavatam. Session, very few pointers which I could take, and we should try to apply in our spiritual life.